grapes? Strawberries? More? Strawberries. Sure. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. God bless you. I've been trading in the markets for 8 years. I'm a bankrupt farmer. I supplied to supermarkets. I employed 22 people. And Tesco brought me into a room one day and told me that Northern Ireland was part of the United Kingdom and cut my margins by 35%. And I went down the tubes for £1 million.
I'm doing this for the last 15 years because I was one of the founder members here. So this is my second home.
The first one, it just was really successful. When we started with flea markets, yeah, brilliant, let's do it. And there was like 20, 22, 25 stalls or something like that. But everyone was just so enthusiastic about it, and it was just word of mouth. Everyone told, like, you know, friends and friends of friends, and it just grew through like a couple of different. Facebook probably is one of the main things how it grew, and then word of mouth. And now we're at like. So starting with 22 stalls, we now have 20 outside, 40 inside. Like, nobody else is doing this on this scale, like the flea market. I mean, there's so many food markets. Like, you know, at the height of the boom, the organic food markets were just popping up all over the place. No one was doing any flea markets, and Flea are just perfect for recession. Because it gives everybody like a chance to have a little little boost in their income just from getting rid of all the stuff that they've been buying over the last 15 years of like economic boom. So, you know, everybody has this surplus stuff in their attic, and it's just like a little, as this little cash injection.
The market was reducing because of the recession, so we introduced food to go. And we used to have customers come in here with, you know, they had good disposable income, and they like to use food and all this. And customers are gone. In that, I wouldn't say they're gone, but they're come less often.
I have come across a few people, yes, that are now trying to make a livelihood in the market, that have had shops. And the rent of the shops and the rateable value that they had to pay was quite substantial. So they went out of business, but they still had stock, and they decided they wanted to keep and try and be self-employed, so they did markets.
When we first started, there was no food market in Dublin except for the fruit and vegetable market in Moore Street. So between myself, the olive people, the garlic kitchen, we were all interested in trading to the public. At the time, this square was just being developed as a very modern, new, slick square, so it suited us.
We realised that we're actually doing something quite unique through like the whole like getting permission to be on the square. You know, the council kept saying you're a private company, and we're like, no, we're not. What are we? And then we were like researching. We're like, no, we're a not-for-profit social enterprise. You know, we're making a change. We're making a difference. Nobody else is really doing it.
We had a beautiful site in Newbridge, and we were moved just after Christmas because Marks and Spencer's said that we were taking their turnover, and they were making waves with the shopping centre. So we were actually moved, and we were moved 50 yards away. That's all. But the 50 yards that we moved away, the people came those 50 yards.
The whole kind of concept of it is an alternative to high street shopping. I mean, that's just, it ties in perfectly with the nature of the Flea and what we're all about.
Lidl, Aldi, Dunn's, Tesco, they're all in a war. All of them are in a war. They're using local produce, they're giving the farmers nothing for it, they're giving suppliers nothing for it, and what they're doing is they're selling that produce. They're giving it away, they're using it as a loss leader to the people that go in to shop with them, right? My prices is cheaper than any supermarket. All my prices is cheaper than any supermarket. Maybe one of my things might be dearer, but overall, in the whole package, I would be cheaper than any supermarket.
This started 12 years ago, and I was doing, up to that, I've been doing almost all for supermarkets. Whereas this, I grow what I want to grow for the people I want to grow for, and I get more of it, more of the rewards of it. Do you understand me? It's not a big fortune to be made of, but at least you have some chance of staying on it. Whereas the other way, you just get gradually shift aside. It's crazy, perilous. Whereas this is, and in loads of ways, this is better. Socially, it's better. economically it's better. You name it, it's a nicer way to go.
It took about 3 years to actually make a little bit of profit, because there's a lot of cost involved in the travelling, and then of course we have to pay rent, stalls, and if, say, some people can't be here all day, they have to then employ somebody. So it takes a while to establish a market. If you get over that hump, if you get over maybe the 2 or 3 years, then you're there for good.
We've had a couple of people who have had stalls, who, like Mary Therese had a stall doing vintage dresses, and it gave her the like sort of encouragement and belief in herself to set up her own shops. But she started off here, so it gives sort of like people incentive to start up their own business, but on a shoestring, because it's only €30 for a stall here. So whether, you know, it's like you're not going to break the bank by taking a chance and having a €30 stall for the day. You know, and
you're never going to walk away having lost money. You'll always walk away with a bit of money.
We trade in Tallaght on a Friday. We trade in Newbridge on a Saturday. We trade in Greystones on a Sunday. We trade in Ashford on a Sunday. We trade in Ballymun the first Thursday of every month.
Initially we wanted to cater for the people who live in the city, but not so many people live in the city anymore, as you know. Like, we do get people coming to the market from further afield. We also meet a lot of tourists who are in the city anyway and then happen upon us. But a lot of markets nowadays start up and they run for maybe 6 months and nobody makes any money, and it's difficult then to carry on, you know. But with this market, I'm delighted to see it's still nearly all producers, actually people who make the food, rather than buying in and selling again. But there's bakers here, and there's fishermen, and there's butcherman over there, and it's great to see that, I think.
Well, whenever you have a market stall, to stop people going into a supermarket, you've got to give it a one-stop shop. What you see here is a complete range of berries: strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, blueberries. You see green grapes, black grapes. You're looking at pears. We sell mangoes ready to go, ready to eat. We sell pineapples ready to go, ready to eat. With fresh figs, passion fruit. We have a very good apple. There's new season Irish rhubarb just in. Well, it's a one-stop shop. We've got jams which are produced there. Those jams there, I would tell everybody they're by royal appointment. If you were the President of Ireland and staying in Hillsborough Castle, that's the jam you would get for your toast in the morning. The butter behind it, young man, is the butter that would go on to that toast. The eggs that you would have for your meal is the eggs that's in behind it. All those things are all Irish. They're all produced locally.
Yeah, it's our own lamb. It was killed on Wednesday, and we do lamb here. We do lamb for Easter. We specialise in lamb, and we have some sheep's cheeses, goat's cheeses. We kill a horse. The horse sells very well here. No, I'm the only person that sells horse.
There's a customer of mine buys off me every week. Every week he comes, he buys his potatoes, he buys his vegetables.
Yeah.
He knows what he's getting. Is there any bad potatoes in that bag?
No, none whatsoever.
And what's
balls of flour?
And what's the carrots like compared to what you would buy in a supermarket?
You'd never again buy carrots in a supermarket.
Why?
Because they taste different.
They're sweet, right or wrong?
Right.
Sweet.
Farm up there near Moneystown, near Roundwood, and we have all our own. It's all our own pork. We spit roast it on the machine, and then we shred it up and we put it in a baguette with a little bit of fried onions and stuffing, and like a bit of homemade apple sauce. It's very tasty now. Yeah, it's very nice. They're nearly ready to go in there now. The selection of it's mainly got a leg there today, leg and a little bit of collar there as well, and there's a lump of shoulder. It's also the breed in the pig too. It's free range pig, like you get, you know, a little bit of extra fat too, like you get lovely quality crackling.
Our carrots aren't washed, right? That's a washed carrot. It has to be washed. It has to be scraped, and it has to be polished, right? All the goodness, all the cancer antibodies, it's all out of it. Right, Sean? Try it. Just take a bite, right? Throw it away.
That's why she said to me to say it for customers that she's using the real.
All right, there's the dirty carrot.
Of course, it will smash very, but other way.
Right, put your hand out. Watch your fingers. Right, try it, Sean. Both Irish carrots.
You just try because
What's the difference?
all the same, yeah? But you know, the next week you just can
Sweeter.
come back, and if you will.
The reason is that carrot's not dried out.
The phone line.
That carrot's, all the goodness in the world's been taken out of it.
Very often I meet people who might have an idea for another cheese or maybe another ingredient, and I'm always open to suggestions, and that's my pleasure as well. We have people that come every week religiously and would know their names, and it's nice. It makes it a little bit easier when you know exactly where you go and who you're probably going to meet.
The Irish woman shops with her eyes. Look at me, lad.
What about cost?
Look at me.
I can see you.
You can see me, right? My wife's as pretty as some of the models on the TV. It's not as what's on the outside that's important. It's what's on the inside. Nobody should shop with their eyes. They need to shop with their tongue. If I can eat it, I'll only sell what I can eat. If I can eat it, I'll sell it. If I can't eat it, I won't sell it.
And it's a really fun day out, and everybody's so nice. It's like I think it's like everybody who's down here is trying to get away from commercial high street shopping and just away from talk about recession and depression. And everybody, you wouldn't even know there's a recession when you come down here. It's all fun and it's great.
The people all get to know you because there's so many people. You never get to know them. You know faces, you know one or two names. They would become friends.
There used to be a woman come in here, for example, every 2 weeks with a cake from me and biscuits. Yeah, really. And now she's gone. I have no contact with her at all.
I believe in the countryside you probably at some markets probably more often than here today's, but probably 50 years ago or 60 years ago you probably had more markets in the countryside where a farmer was bringing their food, you know, and people was buying it, you know.
They call you the strawberry man, but any of the kids that come, I encourage the mothers to let them try fruit that they haven't tried before. I sample things, I let them try it. The supermarket doesn't do anything out there. They're only interested in a till. They're only interested in their bottom line. There's more to life than a bottom line.
I think it's nice now that it's coming back, and with all this organic, you know, trend and getting all the farmers bringing food, that's nice too, you know. So I think looking forward, it would be nice to have more and more and more markets in Dublin and also probably outside Dublin. And but I think it's a nice trend, you know. It's a nice trend.
And you got what's in my heart, young man, and you didn't get any lies, none.
There's one guy one day said, "Hey man," he says, "I'd love to just jump in there, you know." I don't know what he was thinking, but.